Welcome everybody to Spittin' Seeds. I am Seed Person, formerly Seed Person One. Um, yeah, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm gonna get myself set up here and let me get my chat popped out on the link pin for everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about some mushroom stuff, and then we will just have an open panel and let people show off their grows and whatever else we can BS. Get my chat popped out and minimize this and let everybody kind of come in here. So I have some good news. Let's see. What's up, Bass? I know it's Bass, but it's in my head, man. It's what your name is. Um, yeah, I got some news. So let's see. So we were back where I was living before in Kentucky. We had two cats that we had rescued from the shelter named Atticus and Scout. And um, we had to take them back to the shelter because where we moved here in Colorado, where we were staying while we looked for a house, was not somewhere that we could have our cats. So we had to take them back to the shelter, but we stayed in touch with the shelter and we were able to arrange it so that the one of the women that works at the shelter goes to visit family in Iowa, and she took our cats with her on her road trip to visit her family. And when she was leaving, my brother-in-law and father-in-law, who love road trips and also aren't really, they don't work like schedules, so they do like business stuff and computer stuff, but they're like, we love road trips. So they actually drove down there on Friday and scooped up our cats, and the lady drugged the cats and then they put them in the back of the truck and drove them straight back here. So our cats are back here with us now. So we have our whole family together. Um, and that's really cool. They are lean and they look like they just got out of lockup, because they were in the shelter, but they're doing good. They're happy. They're relaxed now. They're making it their home as well. So glad to have my pets back and an update on the goldfish situation. If anybody's in the Discord, the original fish Golden has passed away and had a burial in the yard, and the companion fish is still alive, and Lipstick is her name, and she's still alive, so we're gonna let it keep going. And I don't know that I want to go get another fish for that fish, but it's not good to leave them by themselves, so we kind of have to. But I feel like it might end up being like a rotating, bring in a fish, one dies, bring in another fish, the old one dies, bring in another fish, and I don't want to do that. So um if anybody out there is a goldfish expert, please hit me up because um, I have questions about what happened with my new tank setup. And it was not something that I like was like, ooh, I can't wait. I'm gonna go get a fish tank and some fish. No, the fish showed up first, and then we had a mad scramble to try and get the tank figured out. You can find all the details are posted in the Discord pet section, but that was a shit show. So I have a big fish tank now, 20-gallon tank, but one goldfish in it, and I don't really know what I'm doing. But I want to say cheers to Jace, I see you there, and also cheers to everybody in chat. I see Artman, Little E Bud, Vark Dog, Sky Overhead, Hoss. Cheers, everybody. How are you doing, Jace?
Good. How's it going? Are you guys having some fish troubles? I used to have some, I tried some tropical fish. I'd actually tried some clownfish, and tropical fish are way harder to take care of than freshwater fish. I think they're way more sensitive to environmental changes, and you have to
Mm,
monitor the water a lot closer. But I didn't have much luck either. I think I went through like three or four fish, and one of them lasted the longest, which was like a few months. But the other ones, I mean, they weren't making it at all. And I tried to buy an anemone, and then I put that in there, and it died too. And then it like gunked up the whole tank because it was dead. It was nasty. So I just gave up at that point.
Did you ever hear that? Or it was like a meme, and it was like My neighbor said the coyotes keep eating his outdoor cats, but he just says that he goes to the shelter and gets a new one each time. And I said, "Well, that sounds like you're just feeding shelter cats to the coyotes." And his daughter started to cry. Like kind of how I feel with these fucking fish. We got two snails that went in there. They died too. So
Oh damn.
I had two goldfish and two snails in there, and all but one of the fish died. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's got to be something in your water. I mean, like you got to get a kit to monitor. You get because like ammonia and nitrate levels and stuff like that can mess with them.
I put a
Uh,
conditioner in there, so I don't know. Like they had and it was like it got rid of chloramines, chlorine, and ammonia nitrate, and it
okay.
like it like prepped the water, and then you put in like a beneficial bacteria mixture for the fish that's like good for them, but it's supposed to like lower their shock, new tank shock or something. But yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. Because my water
that
has like
was
a bit of a metallic smell to it sometimes, and I think it has something to do with all the agriculture around here. So I'm actually gonna go get a water test done on my tap water and see. Because I asked the lady at the pet store, I was like, "Should I use distilled water?" And she said, "No, use tap. It's got good minerals and shit in there." And I was like, "Okay," but I want to get my water tested anyways, just to make sure there's nothing dangerous to me in there, which I feel like
ye-
there shouldn't be, obviously.
yeah, because that commercial grow I was at, the town it was in was kind of in a small town outside of the city, and it was a heavy agricultural area just all around, not just cannabis, but I mean a lot of farmland. And they had like almost toxic levels of nitrate in their water, their city water. They had like warnings in town, like not to give it to infants and stuff or small children.
Huh. That's crazy. Little
But
Ebud says the tank is too new. Put a few cheaper fish in there for the first 30 days. Yeah, it's like you got to sacrifice a few to get the tank prepped. That's terrible. That's terrible.
yeah, I know like with new fish, especially that you have to really acclimate them into it. Like you can't just dump them right in there. And I think I remember you take like the bag and you set it inside the water to get the temperature to equalize, and then like you open the top and like slowly add in like small amounts of your current tank water to whatever water's in that bag to like gently mix it in and do that over time to equalize the inside and outside environment before you just dump them in there.
Right. We did that. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on Vark's thing. He said, I think your local water company should give you a printout online, which that's good and all, but I don't want to, you don't trust the PAR maps from the fucking light company. You go get a sensor that you can do your own testing or go with a third party map or something just to make sure. Um, so just necessarily what the water company is testing for at the plant isn't what's specifically coming out of your individual tap, just because of like shit that could be in the pipes or in the lines or whatever, leaching from the ground as it travels to your location. So I personally wouldn't necessarily like I would say, okay, that looks pretty good, at their online thing, but then I would go get it tested third party or something. You can get water testing stuff like kits on Amazon, I believe, for pretty cheap. So I think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I gave up, man. It was just too much. Good luck to you. Just get you a koi pond outside. That might be easier.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Well, then you
idea.
get then you get
I want to do like a big garden in my backyard because like we kind of fell into this house where it was like, oh, this is, perfect for what we're trying to do. But one of the things that it has a huge ass yard that I have to fucking water and cut the grass, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna put a big garden out there. But I was gonna let it like kind of die back and see where all the dry spots are, and then put my garden in those spots so that where it doesn't like get the water, the grass dies, because it's Colorado, it's so dry. Um, and then I don't have to worry about, that brown patch in the yard because there's a big ass like vegetable garden right there. And then I wanted to do like a little turtle habitat as well because my wife has been asking for turtles since we've been together. And I was like, well, they smell horrible, so we're not doing it inside. But maybe we can try and do like outdoor pond thing, a little water feature. I don't know.
yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I hate mowing, man. I got a big backyard too, and it freaking sucks, man. Even with um, shit, what am I trying? Oh, self-propelled. It still sucks ass. Of course, I'm just
Yeah,
lazy though.
Well, I hired a guy from the town. He was
I
just
don't
a
blame you.
dude off. Like I went on Google Maps and searched lawn care, and I found like a one guy business that's in the town that I live in, and I just called him and was like, "Can you cut my grass for the rest of the year?" He's like, "Yeah."
The worst part to me is when your weed eater string runs out because you're already out there sweating your mess off and you're just ready to get it done. And the freaking weed eater string runs out and you got to stop what you're doing and replace it all.
So growing up, I did all the yard work, and I fucking hated it. I cut the grass every week. I hated it, and edging and all that stuff, and um back at where I used to work, the cabinet company, he had like this huge fucking property of like, I don't know, like 20 acres or something. It was all landscaped. And the paint crew was this crew. It was like a big family of Hispanic guys, and they were all related, and they would go out and double as the yard crew on the property when there wasn't enough work for everybody. So one day my boss is like, "Hey, if you don't have anything to do, you could go out there and help them." And I was like, no, I'm not fucking doing that." And he's like, "Oh, okay." It's like,
Hell
you didn't
no.
hire me to fucking do yard work. I have not signed up for that shit, bro.
I don't blame you.
Anyways, are you smoking on anything over there?
Man, no, I'm still recovering from my dab session last night.
How's that going? Tell me about the rig that you got and the dab and the experience and all that, if you want to.
Yeah, it's actually I got it over here. I had to take it apart to clean it.
Put you on the big screen. I don't think it'll let me spotlight you. What the hell? I don't know if I turn mine off. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's just here's the base unit. Here's the glass top. I'm thinking about replacing that with that wicked one I sent you on Discord, the Witch's Brew kit. But yeah, it's basically just like a Puffco. This is actually a Focus V is the brand. I don't see that it's making out. Yeah. But this is a Carta Sport. They had a Carta 2, but I saw they had a lawsuit from Puffco for copyright patent infringement, so they had to come out with this newer model. But yeah, I love it. You just I mean, it hooks up to the app. I haven't used it too much yet, so I'm still kind of learning on it. And then I got the hot knife that comes separate. You have to buy that, but you can scoop your dab and then turn the button on, and this heats it up so it slides right off and drops into your bowl
Oh,
real
that's
easy.
nice. That's
Yeah,
fancy.
yeah, it's cool.
So
It's got like different temperature settings and the LED light on it.
if uh if anybody out there is listening and wants to, I guess, so Jace, let me start over here. Jace, you had never done a dab before you bought this setup, right?
Nope, not in my life. I've done vape pens, so it's pretty comparable to different extraction methods, though. I mean, at least potency wise, they're there with each other.
Right. I also have never done any dabs, and my hesitancy is because I don't want to spend the money on a rig or anything like that, and then end up not liking it and then be, out however much it costs. So if anybody out there wants to donate an old rig or something, please hit me up so that I
Well,
can I can experience the dab and see if I like it. But that's probably the only way I'm going to do it, is if I can either find somebody local that has a rig that'll let me borrow it or show me how to use it or whatever. And or if somebody wants to sponsor me as a that my dab daddy or whatever.
your dabber dad.
Yeah.
Well, these
So,
these aren't too bad. So this one was 200 or 200 225. It's about half the price of the Puffco Pro, the Peak Pro. They have the Puffco Peak, which is right at the same price as this, but this one punches way above that weight class. This is more in line with the Peak Pro. I did some research on this, and I even reached out to Spartan Grow and got some good advice on it. And he also recommended this one too over the Puffco. So yeah, 225. And the nice thing about this one is I don't want to take it out, but this I don't know what it's
mm,
called, but it's the chamber here, this disc, this whole thing comes out, and it's real easy to clean. It's all silicone. That was one of the nicest features about this. It's really easy to clean. Um, but they sell cheaper ones. I think like Artman, he had one for like 50 to 75 bucks maybe. Um, yeah, you can spend some money, or you can go lower end, whatever you want. One thing I noticed on it, when I was kind of talking about that, it was a little bit harsher than what I'm used to. But the first couple times I ran it, I wasn't putting any water in the glass top just because I heard you get better flavor that way. So I was just kind of experimenting, wanting to try it out, and it was fine. But yeah, I think it's a little bit better with the water. I might get that added glass top because it has more chambers and just stuff like that. It just it's supposed to shit. I don't know what the science is shit behind it, but it's just you get smoother hits basically, with more chambers and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean it's it's fairly smooth. I wouldn't say it's like super harsh. Like I don't want to do it. Like I'm not getting an anxiety attack every time I go to take a hit. But yeah, that water helped out quite a bit, and I love it. I mean, it's so much more convenient than pulling out my bong or rolling up a joint. Plus, I don't my tolerance has just gotten up so high from just edibles and consuming so much that I just get to the point like with flour, I feel like it takes me too long, and I love flour. Like that's the best high I feel like all around, and I would prefer that over an edible. But it's just the process was just getting too much for me. Just getting your bong out and going out and ripping it and having to come back in and clean it and store it. And this, it's easy. It's you just push a couple buttons, drop your dab in, do your session and come back in, put it on your shelf. It doesn't really smell like your bong does. So I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
pros to it. Tastes better, more terps, more potent.
My
I got a
problem
press.
is that while you were talking, I was just rolling up a joint and I was looking at the paper and saying, 200 something bucks for that, or I could just pay like 0.001 cent for this piece of paper and a
Very
lighter.
true.
And,
Very true. Yeah, it's a
so
cost trade-off.
that's the thing for me. Like I can't afford that for one way of consuming the plant. Like that's I don't know. Right now, at this point in my life, I don't think I could justify the investment. And then to get a press and everything, that's even more. So I know you ordered a press. That was a pretty
Yeah,
good price on that one that I saw you
it,
posted.
yeah, it's definitely an investment. I mean, if you think about, well, like the dab I bought, it was I think it was 40 bucks or 43 bucks for a gram. So after 10 of those, it'll pay for that press, which I'm pretty sure I'll do that easily within, a few months. So I think that definitely within a year it'll pay for itself, if not a lot sooner than that. And then after that, you're just reaping I mean, you're basically putting money in your pocket. Same thing with flour. If you didn't have to buy your own flour, if you're growing it, you're just saving so much more money.
Right.
That's the good thing about the plant we're growing here. I mean, anything you invest, I feel the return on investment's always going to be there. It's just that startup upfront cost kind of sucks, but you'll get your money back.
Yeah, that's fair. I just it's not it like I'm not my life isn't lacking without it right now, so I don't know that I can justify it, but I'm gonna
Yeah, if
keep
you
it.
don't
I'm
have
gonna
a void to fill, I mean, I wouldn't just throw your money out there. But what I would do is I would find someone around there that's got a rig that you can try, and see if you like it. That's why I bought this. Well, I was going to buy a press all at once, but I wanted to make sure I liked it first before I bought the press because then I'd be out a lot more money. But I was pretty confident I would like it. I mean, I didn't see anything about it that would dislike it besides the upfront cost, obviously. And then you could buy a glass rig. They got the quartz bangers and all that shit that they're cheaper, but to me, that was like, well, I can spend that money for that cost, or just go ahead and buy an e-rig. Corey
Mhm.
might be twice as much, or whatever the cost is. And hopefully they last. They should have a pretty good shelf life on these as far as warranty and longevity. So if I can get, at least a couple of years out of it, or a few years out of it, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Do you want to give us a little rundown on your plants? And then we can get into mushroom talk. That
Yeah,
was something that people were asking about in chat last show, so I wanted to uh give the people what they want and do some mushroom talk here in a minute.
absolutely. There's my seedlings. I think I'm going to replace this light and put in some T5 LEDs in here. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. This is a really good light. It's just way overkill, and I got it for free. Actually, XYZ Vector gave me that one. He wasn't using it anymore. That's a Vipar Spectre. I think it's 150 watts, really good light.
Nice.
It's just way overkill for this, and it's full spectrum. But the T5s are geared more towards a blue spectrum, so they're more for like seedlings and clones or smaller plants.
Hmm.
Um, so I might do that. They're relatively inexpensive. I think it was like 35 bucks for a 4 bar kit that would fill this tent. So it's not too much of a price. I mean, it's not too much of a loss, if I get it and don't like it. But
Yeah.
I try to avoid stuff like that, so I try to do a lot of research before I pull the trigger and buy something because I don't want to have a massive junkyard out in my garage that shit that I bought and didn't use or used it once and didn't like it. And I
Right.
feel like I've gone pretty good so far. I mean, I really haven't had much waste in my opinion, but yeah, just not throwing away money in that sense. But yeah, these are 7 days from now, seed wet. Just got the first single leaf set going,
I
cotyledons
was
first.
I was wrong about that one, huh? I thought it was going to damp off because of the way that that stem looked.
Yeah, it curved a little. That's the one right here in the front,
Yeah, I can
skunk
see that
one.
curve.
But yeah, she pulled through actually all of them. Yeah, I put that on Discord. I popped the seeds and I went to work and I had them in the root rights and I forgot to put them under light. I came home and all three of them were poked up and all three of them had the cotyledons out and they were looking limp and pale as shit. They're like, "Give me some light, you dumbass." But yeah, they bounced back. They're looking good. I'm excited about this run, especially the White Widow, Black Widow showdown. We're going to see. I'm curious if there's going to be any differences in this. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's the same freaking plant. Of course, you get different expressions in between each plant, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm really
You know what
excited
I've
about that.
you know what I've got is 95 White Widow back cross 2, which should be a pretty good representation of the original White Widow from 95. Uh, I might pop one of those just to see if it looks similar to yours.
You got enough room. You got quite a bit going on, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a tour here in about 45 minutes or so.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have going with this tent here. Just thinking about swapping that light out, but might hold off on that. And then over on the veg tent, so I turned off the blue. I'm not supplementing the blue. I stopped doing that several days ago or a few days ago. I think it was too much. This is an experiment for me. This is my first time using it. So my plants, I feel like they're a little too squatty. I feel like they were getting stunted. So I turned it off, and then I actually just started supplementing CO2. I had the bag hanging up in the back, and it was doing a decent job. But I'm really trying to get some explosive growth on these because I need to get these out of here for my seedlings. At some point, they're going to be ready to move in here, and I want to get
Mhm.
these out. My goal is to flip these into flower here to keep them under that blue light during the bolt to try to suppress some of that stretch and get some tighter internodal spacing. So I might turn the blue light back on at that point, but not use it for the full day, like maybe for like 4 hours during the first half of the day,
Yeah,
and then turn it off. That way it's getting a little bit, but not too much, and just see how they respond. But I mean, even though it didn't happen exactly how I wanted in here, I think it was a good experiment, at least in the sense that I know it works. So I just need to learn how to use it, how to implement it. And I just got to refine it. So I think moving forward on my next run, I'll have a much better strategy going into it because in the indoor grow, at least for me, I really try to maximize my plant training to get the most out of your space. So, like right here, the last time I ran, I had 2 plants and I did a main line for each one. And it was awesome, but I don't have enough room in here to mainline 3 plants for 8 colas. So I wanted to go 6 colas, which I did, but the height isn't lining up right now. So like right here, so my goal was to do a cross. Okay, so I was going to do a cross, which I did. And then I wanted the 2 lower nodes to grow up into the center right here. So I wanted 6 nodes. I wanted 2, 4, and then 6 or 6 colas. I'm sorry. And I was going to so I topped the other one right here to get a split to get my 2. So there's 2, and the other side has 2. So
hmm,
there's my 4, and then your 2 in the middle gives you 6. But I was running into some height variations here. So I think next time moving forward, I'll instead of topping this, I think I did the third and second node. I might top like up to the fifth. fifth node and then strip the fourth and third and maybe leave the second or first node because I need that one to be much shorter because the outer ones I need to get more length on it so I can pull them out to keep it level because whatever's closest to the light's going to grow the tallest.
Huh. Interesting.
But when you're a home grower and you got automation and a lot of time on your hands, you think about shit like that.
Yeah. I like the strategy with the blue light because you kind of it what I the way that I see it is like you're like, ooh, I got this cool new light. What does it do? And then you found out what it does, and now you're like, okay, now I know how to use this the right like properly in my grow. So
Yeah, see
I'm
that's the
excited
thing
to
because
see
it.
how it works in the bolt too.
Yeah, me too. I think moving forward, see that was my problem using it first because I turned it on full blast the full 18 hours from day one, and I shouldn't have. I think moving forward, what I'm going to do is train my plants to the shape I want, and then let them start going vertical, and then start using it in moderation. You know, maybe out of the 18 hours, maybe try 10 hours or 8 hours, whatever, and just kind of play with it because that's where I want it. I want it for the node spacing mainly, not for the height so much. So once I start going vertical, that's when node spacing really matters to me because I remove all my laterals. I just keep whatever's on the main cola going up. I really don't. I try to get rid of all the laterals. So I think that'll really benefit me a lot.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Good strategies. For the next for the are you gonna do that with the black versus white and the skunk one?
Yeah, yeah. So I think I'll do the same training strategy with six colas because this is actually the shape I want. I wanted a rectangular shape of the plant, but it's inversed. I need to flip it because my four colors are right here, and there's only one on each side out here, and I want these two colas to be out here, wider, and then have these in the center just coming up. So
You
I'll
need
have
some
two.
bonsai wire is what you need, dude. And just like
Yeah,
wire that shit where you want it. Make it look like a menorah, you know. Have them like stacked front to back, like long ways. A
I've
rectangular
seen
plant.
I've seen the people that do like the hearts on the stems, when they grow up and they loop them around to like a heart. Looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but I might get bored one day and do it. But yeah, so I only mixed up 5 gallons of veg newts for these because I need to flip these. I probably should have flipped them sooner, but I was having some blue light problems. But I probably got maybe a day, at least a day left. So maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll flip these to flower. I'll mix up my flower newts, get them into flower. I probably won't turn the blue light on at first. I might wait the first week or several days at least, because usually it doesn't bolt anyways that first week, and then turn it on the second, third week um, in shorter increments, maybe 4 to 8 hours at most, and then turn it back off.
I like it.
That's what I'm thinking. This one had a little bit of a calcium deficiency. I've been spraying it. It's funny, this one's a little deficient. This one was borderline nitrogen toxicity. I got a little bit of
I
clawing
see
going
that.
on. I don't know if that's nitrogen or an environmental factor. It's not to the point where I'm concerned about it, but this
Hey
one
man,
doesn't
I
want as
say if
much. That
it's if it affects the lowers, I don't really care. I won't like I'll keep an eye on it, but if and as long as it doesn't spread up the plant, or start at the top, then I'm, let the lowers do what they're gonna do. They're coming off anyway.
Yeah, that's
That's
probably
just
what
my
I'll do.
strategy, but I know you're
That's
you're
just
very particular about your plants, and I'm pretty lazy about my shit. So
well, you got so much volume going through, you can be like if so like me, it's just every little misstep, it just drives me nuts, you know what I mean? Just I don't know if it's my OCD or what. Yep, looking forward to flipping these, getting them going, and getting the other ones moving along, and then start the next round.
yep.
Get that press in. I can press out some of this, get some dabs going. Um, yeah, that's my plan moving forward.
Once that press comes in, you're gonna be busy.
Yeah, I hope it's not too bad. I was going to get the big one like Art had with that handle assist on it. It looks really nice, but honestly, I don't know, for me, I think it would be overkill. Um,
Slip a pipe on the end of it.
a cheater bar.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, one more
Yeah.
thing. I've
Oh
got
yeah.
this freaking bird's nest, man. I've got the wireless transmitters. I bought those. So I'm gonna replace all these cables. I can't wait. They're coming in this week. All these cables will be gone. It's a dongle you plug in here, and then you plug in the other one on your device, so you don't have any wires going back and forth.
That's nice. That's those
Those,
AC infinity wires are like super long and skinny wires and they just look like fucking spaghetti and I have a bunch of them tied up in my tent too.
yeah, it's a mess. I mean, it doesn't really improve your grow necessarily, just your sanity,
No, it just looks like shit.
and it's easier to deal with. If I've got to go through there and try to find out where one cable is, I got to take all that shit off, and it sucks to try to fish out a line.
Cheers to the chat. I see Penny Pebble Ripplers, Captain Blackheart, Anything Grows, Vark Dog the Grower, APM, Spartan Grown, Tao's here, Galaxy. What else we got in here? Haas, Artman. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Good to see y'all here. Hope you're having a nice, relaxing Sunday afternoon, morning, whatever it is for you, and well medicated. I'm on my second joint of the day. It's only 10:30 here. So, but Jace, are you interested in getting into some mushroom talk?
I will most certainly talk about mushrooms. So my brief journey on my mushroom experience, I tried it a few times back in high school. It was fun. Um, and then, of course, you get into the adult world and you can't do it because of drug testing. Honestly, I don't even know if they drug test for that.
Well,
But
it's
anyways,
in your system very short period of time, like a day or two, as I understand it. So, um,
yeah,
that's
I
not.
tripped a few times, and then same thing with weed too. I quit weed after high school until they legalized it here again. Um, but same thing with shrooms. So if they legalized it here, I would probably more than likely start growing shrooms, at least a microdose.
Mhm. Well, that's
But yeah,
what
I had some good trips and one bad trip, and good times and bad times.
you mean you had one trip that you didn't enjoy. It probably was still good for you.
Yeah, it was a good trip, but it was more of a strange kind of bad experience.
Yeah,
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
yeah. It's that thing about even if it's like recreational, it's still medicinal.
Pretty much, yeah. Sometimes you just got to decompress, let loose.
Yeah. Like if you eat a bag of mushrooms and then you cry for 2 hours straight, that's not a bad thing. You're letting out a lot of stuff, you know. It's working shit out in your emotional field or whatever. And so, or if you get really scared, you know, like maybe you need to confront that shit, you know, or go through that experience. And just because you're not enjoying it doesn't mean that it's not working in your brain in a way that is beneficial to you. Um, but honestly, I'll tell you what, I did mushrooms once in college, and then um, the only time that I started, I'll just tell my little how I got into it. Back when I was growing, the second or third year I was growing, I decided I was looking into like health benefits and mental health benefits of like different things. So obviously I came across mushrooms and I was um I was dealing with some depression and I started reading about microdosing and I was like, I can do this. So I ordered some spores and I got some cakes made out of like vermiculite and shit and inoculated it and had a pretty good harvest and started microdosing every like there's a bunch of different ways to do it. But essentially what I was doing was every other day and I was taking about 0.15 grams, so 150 milligrams of dried ground. I want to say it was like golden teachers or something like that. And I did that for a month and I felt better. So I kept doing it and I added in, other mushrooms. Lion's mane is one of the notable ones for it. Um, and yeah, it helped me a lot. And I started meditating when I was doing it, and I started picking up good habits and getting rid of bad habits and just feeling better about life in general. And so yeah, it's something that I've been doing for, I want to say, like five years now, pretty much straight. I did take about a year off at one point. Picked it back up more recently. Again, since we've been here, it's legal to grow and use here and buy. Like, you can go, they have that shit at the gas station, some places here, and it's like, I don't trust that, but it's cool that it's that, like, open and allowed. Um, but yeah, so I've never actually like done a full big dose. The most that I go to for enjoyment would be like 1 gram, and it, has some physical effects as well as just a mood enhancer, like boosting kind of properties. So um yeah, I guess the let's I can talk about first of all, what is psychedelic mushrooms? There's a bunch of different ones. Um, when I'm talking about microdosing, I'm talking about psilocybin, uh, specifically psilocybin cubensis, which is the most common like version of the mushroom that contains psilocybin. Um, there's a bunch of different strains that you can get or grow or whatever. Um, for me, I've got, what is it? Blue Meanies is the one that I'm growing. That's not psilocybin cubensis though. It's a different type of psilocybin mushroom, but that's a whole other thing. Generally, when you get, like golden teachers or like, I want to say like Jedi Mindfuck or albino penis envy, they're all going to be containing high amounts of psilocybin. And whether it's cubensis type mushroom or other, what you want is that psilocybin. It's in the cap, it's in the stem, and it's actually in the mycelium as well. If you ate like a whole big brick of mycelium, you would trip, but you'd also probably get really sick. So don't do that. Um, but let me see. Sorry, y'all. I just smoked and I'm pretty high. So the psilocybin is the active ingredient. It's a compound that's found in the mushroom. When you ingest it, your body converts it into something called psilocin, which is a different compound but similar, and that's what's actually acting in your brain. The effects of taking mushrooms in the brain, depending on dose, is gonna have different effects. Obviously, the more you eat, the harder you're gonna trip. The less you eat, if you're like, going below, half a gram, that would be considered like a mini to a micro dose. And you generally aren't going to feel it very much. And that's where I like to hang out, is like 0.3 grams with some lion's mane in there and some cordyceps. And if you do it on the regular, what happens in your brain is that it kind of, so the way that your brain cells and um they're arranged and the way they connect is like, if you're just sitting, they're going to be in a certain pattern. That's like their most commonly used circuit, right? Is how I look at it. And that is generally called the default network mode. And it's like, if you're just sitting, that's what your brain is doing. And imagine like a person walking a path. You tread down certain pathways because they're your most commonly used. So if you're in a negative mindset all the time, your brain is going to form pathways in that kind of framework, right? The connections are going to be in that kind of framework. When you microdose, it kind of knocks your brain out of that network, and it makes you form new connections and create new pathways in the brain, which we call uh, plasticity. So if your brain is more plastic, more malleable, it's able to make new connections easier. And when you combine that plasticity with like a determined effort to form new habits, to think more positive thoughts, things like that, meditate, whatever new behaviors you're doing to improve yourself, it's going to have a much quicker and deeper effect on you in general. Like, um, because your brain is open to forming those new connections. So that's what I would say. Um, Microdosing is best used for is to knock your brain out of its general like network and make it do some new, connecting and forming, new thoughts and new thought patterns and things like that. Add Don Vito, you are now a moderator. You
So
still there,
what would you
Jace?
say? Is there a pretty fine line for you between microdosing per se when you're getting, I don't know. I mean, I would call it just like the head change, like where you start getting like that little rush, but like you said, it's not like a full blown trip, Like, is there a pretty
Um,
fine threshold for you there, or
So there's a whole like designation between the different size doses, but it's really dependent on the person. Because my wife is she's less sensitive to it than I am. So she could eat a gram and it would be like I ate half a gram, the same effects. So I guess depending on like the way that your brain is wired, my wife is bipolar, so she has a different effect with it. Um, for me, if I go like half a gram, and also it depends on the mushroom as well and the strain, because there could be more psilocybin in certain strains. So this is all just kind of a general rule of thumb. It's not anything specific. Like if I ate, you know, a gram of golden teachers, I would be fine. I could probably, drive to the store and whatever. If I ate a gram of like albino penis envy, that shit's way more potent and I would probably have a full blown trip, because I don't have that high of a tolerance to it. But for me personally, like microdosing would be zero point 0.1 gram to zero point 0.3 gram. And then a mini dose would be like zero point 0.3 grams to like point, I don't know, 5 grams, right? And then what I call a museum dose, where it just like kind of enhances your enjoyment of creativity, would be like 0.5 to 1, and then you go up from there, and it's all dependent. So what I say is like make sure that you're titrating your dose with everything, eat a little bit, see how you feel, then maybe increase it next time, and then increase it until you get to a comfortable point and keep track of it, and then you'll know. I personally know with my last harvest of mushrooms that I did a bunch of boxes of the same strain because I knew how it affected me and I knew how to dose it out. Um, yeah, but um, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, two microdoses. So, it's a longer term thing, the microdosing. It's a like a lot of people are like, I need to feel something to know that it's working. But if you can commit to giving it a month of doing it, you will feel something at the end of that month. You'll be like, holy shit, like I feel way better just in general, versus like I am completely tripping and the next day I had like a life-changing experience and I'm got a new outlook. It's a different kind of changing your outlook. It's more gentle, I guess, than like eating a hero dose and talking to God and letting him tell you like what how to fix your shit and whatever.
so
Um
I would equate that more to like, I mean, in the sense, yes, you're going for more of a medicinal route there. So it's not like, so like anytime you would have like a personality disorder or a mental disorder, it's not like a light switch. It's not like you can take a medicine and flip a light switch and then you're normal. It's subtle changes and differences that improve. So that's what you're saying there is it's not like someone flipped a light switch after your first trip, but it's little things that you don't necessarily notice at first, but as time goes by, you start realizing things that were maybe negative in your life aren't there anymore. And you didn't realize it like that day, but it took you a few weeks or a month or whatever. And you finally wake up and realize like, oh shit, I do feel better. I just didn't realize it until now.
Well, I would say that I notice it the day that I microdose. Like I'll at the end of the day, I'll have more energy and I'll be like, wow, I really had a good interaction with that, cashier at the Dollar General and they were so nice and I was so nice back and it felt good. But you don't realize it in the moment. You're not like, holy shit, I feel awesome and I love everybody and whatever. It's like that just kind of naturally also comes out of it. That you're more empathetic, I think, to other humans and stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you're in that situation to where you don't feel that empathy and others do, that takes you to the point where you're farther away from normalcy. You're not as normal as everybody else. I mean, what the fuck is normal? But
Right.
at least you get that sense of it, and you just don't realize it at the time. And like you said, you realize it afterwards. You're like, oh shit, I had a normal moment with that person.
Yeah, very much so. You're like, oh, this is how people are supposed to feel. Rock
Yeah.
says, opens you up to changes, important to focus on positive change you want. That is true. The number one thing that I read when I was microdosing and or when I started researching it, and the one thing that I'll pass along as well is that it only works if you work it. So you can eat the mushrooms every day and you can feel better just in general, but there's a lot more potential there. If you want to break bad habits and start new ones, even with just the way that you think about reality in general or life or trying to if you're like walking around and you're like, man, everything sucks and shit's always terrible and why does bad things happen to me and whatever, like do the microdosing and actively work to stop yourself from having those thoughts and work to replace them with a positive thought. And the effects on everything is just crazy. It's so powerful, I think, in the way that things start to just line up for you. And it just kind of like is like a lubricant, I guess, for your brain and life and smooths everything out.
Yeah, it is a unique experience. Or just like the first time, at least for me, and I think a lot of people, when you trip, the first time you trip on whatever, you had that first kind of out of body experience. It just gives you like a whole new outlook on reality in the world.
Mhm.
Just that very first time, because you're just like, well, what the fuck happened the
Yeah.
next day?
Um, I will also say that if you do end up eating mushrooms and you have to like sit on the couch and watch The Simpsons or something and laugh your ass off, like that's good too. That's medicine for your brain as well. Um, my favorite is to eat an edible and like 1 gram of mushrooms and then do something that makes me laugh or watch something that makes me laugh and just get the giggles. Like I don't get the giggles off of just straight weed anymore, usually, but if I add in a little bit of mushrooms to the mix, I'll get the giggles, and that's such a great feeling to just be so like happy and I don't know. It's not that you're overloading your brain with like the endorphins and stuff, but it's allowing you to relax to the point where you can feel those emotions in like a natural way, I guess. Also, the thing that I've experienced, and some people do, some people don't, is that you get some pain relief from microdosing as well, where it's because it's lowering your stress levels and your body is physically relaxed a little bit more, that it can help ease any kind of like inflammation and tension in the body and stuff like that is my experience. But I deal with chronic spasming and stuff like that, so it's effective for that. I can say that for me. But Galaxy said I'm worse at growing mushrooms than cannabis, and we could talk about that. Because contamination is a bitch. I just ordered some spores from Entheogenic. I'm gonna find the website. I'll put the link in chat, but she's was recommended to me by somebody that I know on Instagram and the Discord, and yeah, those cultures came in and they were very viable. Like, holy shit. I put them in the the Uncle Ben's bags, and they just went nuts. And then I've already got them in the totes. I did that 2 nights ago. Um, but let's uh let's get a little more specific in um what is how do you do it? So contamination is a bitch. Yes, it is. Here is a very simple way to try and avoid contamination. I use the Uncle Ben Tech, and so what I do is I will get some liquid culture for microscopy purposes only. Wink, wink. And you can order that from various places, but like I said, entheogenic. It's three in THEOG. Hang on, I'll find a link. It comes in a tube, and the tube has a needle that attaches to it. And if you go to the grocery store and you buy some Ben's instant brown rice, you don't want the flavored kind. You don't want like cilantro lime or any of that shit. You don't want white rice or basmati. You want the brown rice. Um, Grab like, I don't know, two of those per tube that you get. Hang on. I'm gonna find this link for you right now. I was very impressed with the viability of these spores. So if you want to get spores, this would be the place I would recommend doing it. And I'm gonna put that link in chat right now. Um, so what you do is you get your spores, you take the needle and your Uncle Ben's and some alcohol wipes and some Lysol, and you spray your area down really good so that you kill any kind of potential contaminant, or do your best to. Turn off any fans so that there's not any kind of free air floating around and blowing any kind of potential bacteria or shit in your space that you just cleaned. And then get some gloves and take the needle and put it on the syringe tube thing with the spores in it, the liquid culture. And I use a lighter. I heat the end of the needle up until it's glowing cherry red, just to, kill anything that might be right on the tip there that could be squirted into the bag as well. Then I take the tube and I set it so that that's like just not touching anything. The needle is, and I let it cool off for a minute. While that's cooling, I take my scissors that I wiped with alcohol and I snip the corner off of the Ben's brown rice bag, and take that needle and I just stick it right in that little snip that I made. You can do like a 1/4 inch, squirt it in there, move the needle around as you're squirting it in. I split one tube between two bags of rice, just to double my chances of getting a full, like a colonization or lack of contamination, because these can get contaminated as well, which does suck. But I go with the shotgun approach and just I'll get like the pack of spores, multiple tubes, and do like a bunch of bags all at once. And then, hopefully some of them don't get contaminated. Generally speaking, they don't. Once you've injected the liquid culture or the spores into the rice bag, you can get some micropore tape, which is just paper tape or cloth tape from Walmart pharmacy section, or really any pharmacy or Amazon, and just pinch that over the slit that you made when you snip the corner off. And so that will allow air to pass through a little bit and keep any kind of bacteria or contamination out. And then put that bag of rice, all the bags of rice, into a box bag, whatever, that's dark, and put it somewhere kind of warm. I like to put it in a paper bag and set it on top of my grow tent. And then just check on it, once a week or so, and you'll see white fuzz start to grow in there. Once it's, half colonized with the mycelium, I like to bust up any kind of clumps in the bag. Oh, and also just pro tip, bust up the block of rice in there before you inject it. Because if you try to inject it into that like mass of rice that's all smashed together, it's going to be difficult to get it to spread out easily. But about half colonized, I bust it up, let it kind of mix so that the mycelium spreads to the uncolonized rice, and then put it back in the bag, leave it there, check it once a week until it's fully colonized. And then you have a couple options from there. You can go into like a shotgun fruiting chamber or a monotub or whatever, which we can get into in a second. But am I still coming through clear, Jason? Are you still following what I'm putting down here? Any questions or
100%,
anything?
100%. Keep going.
All right. Let me get a sip of water here. So once your Ben's rice bags are fully colonized, what I do is I make a CVG mixture, which is cocoa vermiculite gypsum. And uh what I'll do is I'll get my cocoa vermiculite and gypsum, and I'll get my Home Depot bucket, and I'll go to the store and get 2 gallons of distilled water. And I'll put that on the stove to boil, and I'll mix the cocoa vermiculite and gypsum in at a ratio of 40% cocoa, 40% vermiculite, 20% gypsum. You can tweak the ratio if you want to. There's other ones out there. But that's my rule of thumb. Once your water is boiled, let it do a rolling boil for a few minutes. Turn it off, and then pour it onto your CVG mixture in the bucket, and let it like hydrate the cocoa brick if that's what you're using or whatever. Um, and fully saturate that bucket of CVG. And then I use a big wooden spoon, and I'll mix it all together really good while it's still steaming and really hot, and make sure everything is hydrated and touching that really hot water to help pasteurize it and kill anything that might be on there. That way you're left with a sterile media to mix your rice mycelium with. Once you let that cool, like until it's completely room temperature cool, I go in once with a very clean spoon, and I'll stir it up about halfway through. Usually I boil the water first thing in the morning, and then by the end of the day at the evening, I can make my little tubs up. It's cooled off enough. So once it's cool, what I do is I have, and why am I not showing this? Hang on 1 second. Let me send myself the link. What I went and got some clear shoebox, plastic tote bins from Walmart, and hang on, I got to email myself the link, and I got a 2-inch hole saw, and I cut 2-inch holes all the way around, like one per side of the 4 sides, and then one on top of this clear plastic shoebox tote bin. Um, and then I covered those once I like cleared off all the little plastic pieces and whatever, and then I covered those outside and inside with the cloth paper tape stuff, whatever you're gonna get, because you can use paper tape, or you can use micropore tape, or you can use cloth tape, which are all basically the same thing. Then sorry, I'm trying to send this link. Um, Once you've got that covered with the tape, you can get a black trash bag. Actually, what I would do in between that step is wipe it all down really good with like Lysol wipes or something to kill anything that's in there. Then you can take a black trash bag and cut it to fit the bottom of that tote so that it comes up the sides, maybe an inch or two, depending on how tall your tub is. And put a layer of the CVG mixture that's cooled on the bottom of that, so that it's the reason why we put the black trash bag down is because that the whole media is going to colonize, and we only want it to start fruiting mushrooms up. So anywhere that the light is hitting it's gonna start fruiting mushrooms. And if you don't cover up the sides and the bottom with this black trash bag or whatever you have around the house, it's going to it's going to stop them from growing mushrooms against the sides where the light is hitting, that you can't get to. So put your CVG mixture on that black trash bag. Then this is all very clean. Just want to explain that. wipe everything down before you do any of this. Make sure you're wiping everything down really good. Keep all your fans turned off. Same thing as when you inoculated the bags. But for this whole process of like filling the tubs up, you don't want to get anything, any kind of contamination in there if you can help it. Like I do a bunch of tubs because like I said, I'm not the kind of person that can pull off a super sterile environment. So I go with the shotgun approach and I'll do like, multiple tubs, make sure that if one does get contaminated, I have a backup tub. That's why I do like the double bag for each tube and all that stuff. Once you've got your layer of CVG, you can cut open the bag of colonized rice and break that up into chunks, mix it in with that layer, and then cover it with a thin layer of CVG on top of that so that there's no light hitting the mycelium pieces. And um I after that, you're gonna put that somewhere dark and warm and let it colonize that media. And then once you start seeing like white fuzz, hairs, stuff on the top, you can expose it to sunlight or indirect sunlight or just indirect light in general, and it will start fruiting on the top of that colonized media. And then the mushrooms come up, you can cut them, give it another, week or two. It should give you at least a few more. Sometimes you get 3 flushes. And yeah, that is my process for growing mushrooms. I guess once you have harvested the mushrooms, you're going to want to get like a dehydrator or something like that and get them really dry. Um, once they're really dry, I put them in mason jars and just store them somewhere that's cool and dark. Keep them, until I need them. I use a coffee grinder, electric coffee grinder to grind them up and put them into my microdoses. Um, and I also mix lion's mane and cordyceps in with my microdose as well. For the microdosing, you can get gel caps and make them that way. Uh, Vark Dog was recommending a like a gel cap press thing to me, which I'm looking into because that's pretty easy to do, like 100 of them at once or something. But what I do is I just generally have it in like a packet of a mixture of all the mushroom powders, and I weigh it out and put it in a smoothie. I get like a little smoothie from the grocery store, and I'll split it between 2 days or whatever, 2 doses per smoothie.
I had a question I was reading while you were talking, because I have no idea about any of this. But they were just talking about mushrooms, like all fungus, are heterotrophic, so they don't photosynthesize. So does that mean they don't need light at all?
Um, so the light is more to trigger it. So imagine if the mycelium is growing underneath the forest floor, right? And it grows to a point where it's getting exposed to light. It knows that, well, I guess it's doesn't know that because it doesn't really have a brain, but um it will trigger it to produce a fruit there, and in the hopes that it will release spores and allow it to go colonize somewhere else. So it's a reproductive process. The light is kind of, it doesn't need it. It doesn't use it for anything other, I would assume, other than generally like triggering it to produce fruit.
And then I know you talked about all this, but I'm still trying to comprehend. So if
Mhm.
it doesn't photosynthesize, then so it's only getting its nutrients through the soil. Um,
Right. That would be the
so,
gypsum.
okay, so you can't do synthetic nutrients in this case. Would it have to be organic?
I don't like, it's not nutrients so much as the mycelium is using the moisture and the micro uh ingredients that are in there to grow.
Or
I
is
don't
that where the
know. Like
rice
I'm
the
not
rice
like an
comes in?
expert. Yeah, well I would assume, I'm like I said, I'm not an expert at this at all. Like I know how it works for me, how to do it and all that, but I don't know like the mechanics of it so much. Some, but not, I don't know specifically that. Like I don't think, I think it's using the gypsum mostly as its food source in the second, and then whatever the rice is, yeah, as well.
And then what's the So I'm trying to put it on, I'm just trying to equate it to, I grow cannabis. So what's the life cycle of this from start to finish before you can get a harvest?
Um, Probably about the same as cannabis.
So about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months. Two if you're
And
really
then
lucky.
I guess that would vary quite a bit too, but what kind of yield do you get back on this? Obviously, the more you grow, the more you get, but like in the space, whatever space.
It depends on. Oh, hang on 1 second. I would say it depends on the like how much you're doing, like how big your totes are and all that. Oh, fucking turn this off. There we go. All right, sorry. I joined on the thing and I can hear myself talking. Let me turn this off.
So you say totes like those, like storage totes, those plastic ones.
What's that?
You said totes like just regular plastic storage totes.
Here, let me show you.
So about 2 foot, 2 or 3 foot by maybe like a foot tall.
Oh, this is what I'm doing right now. Can you see that?
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm gonna
what is
spotlight
that
this
like?
stuff real quick.
Maybe like a foot, foot and a half wide by maybe 8 or 10 inches tall, if that.
Yeah, something like that. I ripped out the label. It's a
Oh,
15 quart, 4 liter. So 13, 16 by 13 by 6 and 5/8.
and then what would you anticipate the yield from that container would be if everything goes well?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know. You're gonna find out with me, but I got a bunch of them.
Well, I was just thinking, like, just doing the math. You said microdosing, you're doing like less than a half a gram, so you can kind of
Oh,
equate that out to how many doses you could get, how long that would last a
oh,
person.
at least an ounce. At least an ounce per tote.
Okay, so one tote will give you quite a bit of doses for one person microdoses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so easy. It's easy to do it. This light's gonna turn on in just a second. One a little bit short, sorry. Yeah, so that's the totes underneath here. But you can already see there's a little fuzz popping up already.
Oh yeah.
That looks like a rice grain that didn't get fully buried right there. So I'll keep updating on those. But I'm gonna do a little garden tour here.
So how do you water those
Um,
and like what's your saturation on that?
no, you just want them to be like squeeze it and maybe get 1 drop field saturation. Um, like squeeze a handful of it. There's that
And
light.
you're just feeding it distilled water, RO water, right? Nothing else with it.
I'm not feeding it anything. I put the like I hydrate it with the water, mix it, put it in that tote, and leave it. And I don't touch it. It'll do its thing. Like it's way different than cannabis. You don't have to tend to it. You just inoculate the rice, let it sit, make the tote, let it sit, harvest the mushrooms.
That sounds pretty hands off then.
It's very easy.
You got some
So
biggins in there.
yeah. Um, so this is Nicole Kush #2. Berry Swirl, Blueberry Train Mac, Banana OG. I went through and I thinned out a bunch of plants. I took out stuff that I was like, well, yeah, I don't love it, because I'm starting another project coming up here. Um, this is the seeded plants. So I've got the hash plant crust to hash plant. That's the hash plant crust to platinum pancakes, which is frosty as fuck. This is the hash plant crust to Nicole Kush #1. and hash plant crust a 9 pound hammer S1, which is also like a fucking like a scented marker, like a fruit scented marker.
So in your flower tent, do you have like a specific training regimen you do? I don't think you do, right? Because you're constantly doing something different. Like you never have the same plant count, right? So you just kind of wing it as you go. Like, okay, I'm gonna top this one or not top it at
Right.
all.
It's more like I took a bunch of clones off it and then threw it in the flower, and it just looks weird. It's a
That was the
weird
shape
shape,
of it.
you know. Like if you look at my down here, this one got topped. That was a clone though. This one got straight, grown up, tall. That one got topped twice, I think. I don't know. And then this one got topped. And these are not no clones off any of those. It's just for smoking.
Oh.
And I got all the clones over here.
Ooh, that's a busy tent.
It's a lot of stuff, and some of these are going out to people once they get roots in them. But these are all my flapjacks clones. I got some 9 pound S1. What else? Kim Deed and GG4 flapjacks. Two different flapjacks in here. Um, Platinum Pancakes is in here. And so I got, remember, I don't know if you were, yeah, you were here for that, but I found a seed in the jet fuel that I was smoking, and this is it.
Damn, you got some fire in that tent, man. A lot of good shit going in there.
Yeah, these are two 9 pound hammers here and here. Oop. And
So you're
then
just wanting that 9 pound hammer?
no, I have a S1 of it that it was one of those Apomixis seeds that I found. And
Oh yeah.
then I had two other, these are regs, so I don't know if they're male or female yet. Then I got a bunch of seeds down. These are all, I got 6 unicorn poop F2s down. And this is a CBD cherry gas mask. It should be like straight CBD. And I took the tent out of here and I turned this whole closet into a big veg space.
Are you gonna put like panda film and shit on the walls to protect it, or just kind of leave it as is?
I think I'm gonna leave it as is. I think it's all right.
As long as you don't spray anything in there, I think you'd be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably take them out to spray them if I do spray them with anything. Um, these are all backups to all those clones that I was talking about. So I got the two flapjacks, two different flapjacks, which I'm gonna do a reversal on that. And then I got two 9 pound hammer S1s, Kim D to GG4, and platinum pancakes. And then I got 6 goth girls here, which I'm gonna sex and maybe try and cut clones of that too. But I got a lot of shit going on. And then I got this is a male. This is Ron's boyfriend that is a gold cash gold crust to white truffle cheese crust to the Wide Chin Valley landrace, which was so vigorous. It smells so dank, and I want to do something with it, but I'm like I have to hold this for like 6 months before I can do anything with it. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
a long
just gonna
time.
be in the corner the whole time. So I got other shit I got to do first, like the Goth Girl F2s and yeah, so the Flapjacks F2s and stuff. But that's my garden. And then I was gifted these by somebody. River Rat sent these to me from Trichopath's Discord.
I see some buttons in your future.
Well, yeah, I've never done it. Never done it. And then I'm gonna. Well, here's one more. The desk San Pedro. That's pretty cool.
How long do those take to grow up before you get anything off of
I have no idea. I'm gonna have to do some research.
it? It's gonna grow through your roof. You're gonna take it outside.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump back over to my computer. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, I think that 9 pound hammer. I'll probably run it on my next run after these seeds I got going here. I like the S1, and so I might try that. That might be my first little seed breeding project. Whatever.
To S1 what?
That 9 pound hammer.
Ah, um, yeah. You've got seeds of that, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just bought some since Art some too. He's wanting to try them out. Sounds pretty good. Hear a lot of good things about it.
I'm actually pulling together a bunch of strains right now, um, for a 9 pound hammer crosses that I want to do.
What are you thinking?
Um, I'm not sure yet. I know flapjacks, platinum pancakes, all this stuff over here, but I also got some clones of like CBD stuff. I want to do like some good medicine. Um like just some stuff for sleep, stress, all that shit. And because I've been growing the 9 pound hammer for like 3 or 4 years now, off and on, and I mean it's great medicine. So um yeah, I want to put it to a bunch of stuff and give people some variety of CBD ratios and other like heavy strains or good pain strains or things like that.
But how does that work? I mean, I've never had the breeder mentality. So what are you looking for when you see? Do you just like say, okay, 9 pound hammer's got this. I want to cross it with this flavor over here from this other plant, this terp profile, or I want this effect from this plant to be with this one. I mean, what's your
Right.
thought process?
So shout out to was it Rolling Smoke in the chat? I think sent me the Kim D to GG4 and said this is the best medicine I've ever had. And um I want to use that. There, he said it got him off. I think it was off opiates, and he uses that and 9 pound hammer in his RSO. And I was like, well, you sent me the seeds, and I love 9 pound hammer, so I should just make that across and send those back to you, and use that for my pain as well. Because if that's what those are the two strains that you're using in your RSO, you might be able to grow it in one plant and get the same effect, and just try and boost those complementary, sleep and pain relief or sleep and stress relief or, because the 9 pound hammer is very, very heavy in terms of like couch luck and just slows you down a lot. So
Yeah, it's like a 90% indica, isn't it?
yeah, it's Jesus OG crust hash gooberry, I think. Shout out to Jinx Proof though, is a good dude. Does a lot of good stuff. It has some good genetics. He says good genetics come from good genetics. So hopefully we can share some good pain relief and sleep and stuff to people that need it.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned when I was researching about presses is, it's fire in, fire out. So if it's not good going in, it's not going to be good going out. So if you got shit weed, it's still going to be shit weed after you press it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm. I've been watching, but also if anybody has tried to join and I missed you and you jumped out, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a good project. And then I have two pollen bags and I don't know where I can get more without buying them at wholesale. So if anybody out there's got a pollen bag they would like to share with me, I need two more for two more projects that I want to do, but um, I'll happily pay you. I just can't buy less than 40 of them from England, or there's a place here in the States that I reached out to. They haven't got back to me yet. So we'll see.
Guy overhead made a good point. If you cross a 9 pound hammer with itself, is it 18 pound hammer at that point?
Maybe. Or is it an exponential thing?
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound.
Is it nine times nine or nine times two? What is nine times nine?
81?
You're smarter
Would
than
it be
I
a
am, or
would it
less
be an
I.
81 pound hammer?
That's right.
That's a big ass hammer, man. 9 pounds to put you down. I can't imagine what 81s would do.
That's funny.
Well, you're talking me into it. They need to you need to get them to legalize that here if I start doing that.
The mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Shoot,
no,
that's
nobody's
probably a
gonna
long
know
ways.
if you have one little box under your bed. Who cares?
Yeah, that's a possibility, but I doubt they will anytime soon. We're still trying to get rec here. They voted for rec last time and they got shot down pretty hard. But
That sucks.
medicinal passed the first time pretty overwhelmingly here, the first ballot they had. So that was kind of surprising here because we're in the Bible Belt. But yeah, I
They're
don't
like,
see us
we
getting
don't got
mushrooms.
shit to do out here. We can't look at mountains or trees or nothing. We gotta smoke some weed, man.
All these fucking plains and cows out here.
That's right. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, I can't even look at a mountain. I mean, we have a couple mountains here, but they're nothing like what you guys got. They're like foothills compared to what you guys have.
Man, I drive I drive out the neighborhood and then everything that we go to is west. So I everything that I need to go to, I have to drive towards the mountains. So I get to stare at the mountains for pretty much every drive that I take. It's awesome.
Man, I used to be a truck driver when I was 21, and that was one of the coolest things, just seeing all the different scenery and landscapes of our country.
Hmm.
Yeah, the Rockies were so beautiful. I love that area. Utah, Colorado.
They just got snow up in the mountains. That's what I heard.
Yeah, see, that was one thing that'd be crazy. You know, you're driving down the interstate and it's like, 90 degrees outside. And you look up at the mountain in the distance and you see snow on it. You're like, what the fuck? It's hot out here.
Hmm.
How is this possible?
The the altitude here is a thing too. What was I doing recently? I was baking and I had to adjust my recipe because the fucking altitude will mess things up. So I was
Does
making
it take
pizza
longer or shorter to cook?
short. It takes shorter. You add less leavening agent and you cook it shorter time.
I remember back to my truck driving. I remember one time I was hauling a load of potato chips, and you had to take a certain route because if you went over a certain elevation, they'd all bust open.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I was opening, so I had all these mason jars, right, in a box, and I was opening boxes, unpacking, getting ready for when I do get a harvest. And I started opening them, and they were like, poof, 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 because of the elevation change from pretty much sea level up to we're at 48,000 feet here, or 4,800, sorry. And all my mason jars were pressurized.
Your house is at 4,800 feet, but your head is at 48,000 feet for that 9 pound
That's
hammer.
right. That's right, man. I'm smoking on some
Got the,
sour gorilla, which is pretty good.
was that like a sour D with some GG4?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, I'm still smoking dispo weed right now.
Ugh.
But I found a couple of strains that they have that are pretty decent, so I just been going back to get that.
Yeah, when I went and bought that rosin, that's the first time I've been to the dispo in probably 2 years, man. I think the last time I went was when I bought my clones when I was still growing from clones. That's why I bought the press too. I'm hoping that'll help keep me out of there. But I wouldn't be as worried as much about rosin as I would about flour coming from a dispo. Not saying that all wheat from there is bad, but some of it certainly is. I can attest to that from commercial
Yeah,
grows.
for sure. I got some concentrate here. I got some sugar wax that I've been sprinkling into my joints. It's pretty good.
How does that work out for you?
Yeah, I like it. It's very terpy.
I've been doing that the last couple times. I got finally got some keef stashed back up. I used to use that for my edibles to make them more nuclear, but I've been sprinkling it on joints, and yeah, it's nice. Get a little extra flavor, a little extra boost and
Mhm.
potency.
What's up, Sky overhead? Welcome to the show, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. We can
How's
see
it
What
you
up,
going?
too.
Sky?
Cheers, everybody.
Rocking
I'll
out.
I'll try to show. It looked like the connection was pretty good today, so it might go in and out. But here's one, and what are these? Almost a gallon pot. It's like 0.7 or something. That one I put into flowering 2 days ago.
Nice.
That's one of my. That's one of mine that I bred the seeds for. And then this is the goth girl. I need to take some cuts off of this one. So far, I don't see any male flowers on any of the ones that I have in my yard. So this is a good pick here.
Awesome, man. That's good to hear.
So, and this plant's been, well, this is a clone from a plant that's flowered already, and I've smoked it and I've tested it and I like it. Tastes good, gets you to where you need to be. So that's a good one. And then this is just two more of this plant right here. And I don't think I can get close to the mother of this one, but I'll try. So let's see. This is cilantro. And this
Hey, do you want to
celery
turn your
plant
phone
right
to the side?
here.
Can you turn your phone to the
Oh,
side for us?
sorry.
No, you're good. I just realized. Thank you.
But you
So
can't dunk on that
cilantro
goal.
and this celery plant right here has been dropping seeds everywhere. So there's little celery seedlings everywhere.
Wow.
So there's some in here with this cilantro. That's celery right there.
Nice. I see your strawberries there.
Yeah, this plant looks almost like it's two different plants, but it's just been shooting out a whole bunch of runners. Um, so I gotta cut those off and plant them somewhere else or do something with that. Um, yeah, like these pots are kind of dying off right now. There was good strawberries in here and like chard and kale, but it's just I haven't fertilized that pot in about 6 months. Let's see. That's I think spearmint,
Hey, you
and
gotta
then
hit those logs with some spores, dude.
I know. Well, I have a whole bunch of oak tree logs too. I'll point those out. They're like kind of buried in my yard.
Yeah.
That's that right there is a native plant. I think it's called monkey flower. No, no, no. That one's called some sort of sage or something. Okay, this is my chives, and then I got some cilantro growing around the bottom here too.
Nice.
These chives are probably about 4 years old, and they just this is the second time they seeded up. So there's a bunch of nice seeds on here. And then that's a strawberry plant growing around there. This is another one of my creations.
Wait, is that one that survived all winter?
Yeah. So I think it sprouted around like January something, and it's just been holding on and holding on, and then it started finally growing.
That's
But
so cool.
the soil's not real good right here in this spot. But yeah, this area I just been throwing like letting the plants grow up and go to seed and then just throwing it back on the ground. So they got a bunch of kale growing. Um, what else is down there? Yeah, those are all little kale plants and stuff that are sprouting up. just from letting the seeds go back into the ground and stuff. And then next to this, I got some strawberries going. This is a native Californian plant. It's called monkey flower. So I'm trying to add some natives in here for like the birds and the bees. And
Good for you.
then this is another, I think it's another sage plant, another native. And this stuff is Asian radish. I think it's called rat tail.
Huh.
And then I have seedlings coming up from the tomato plants that were right here too.
Nice.
So lots of seedlings coming up from just dropping seeds everywhere. That is oregano. And that's some sort of lily there. Okay, let's see. Where is my connection signal?
You pretty much got
All
all the
right.
herbs and spices in your backyard there.
Yeah.
He's got the chicken too, bro.
Hell yeah.
So
You can make some KFC if you want.
Sky
that's
will
the
kill you if
celery
you hurt one
plant.
of his friends.
Yeah, it smells like pizza when I mow back here. So 'cause I'll mow across the onions and the oregano and the thyme. Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
That's awesome.
All right. Hopefully I don't start getting knocked off of here. So this is one of the ones that I burnt the roots off, and then I just cloned everything I burnt the roots off. So these plants have been going from like, I think I planted the seeds on December 8th or something. So this is just like the second wave of what should have been part of the first wave.
Okay, I got you.
All right. And then that's the one I've already flowered out and cut clones off, and that's the keeper out of the bunch,
Nice.
out of the 16 plants that I had. And then that's like chard,
Mhm.
kind of starting to get a little bit of powdery mildew going. And then there's like other things growing in the middle of that too, like this is cilantro right here. Cilantro down in there. And then there's basil somewhere. But yeah, this one was stuck in the pot for a long time and not getting fed. It's starting to look better. It's just one of those things where you just can't kill a plant. So you go, okay, I'll fuck it, put it in the ground. Let's see.
That's cool that all that grows there because you got some pretty harsh climate conditions. It sounds like it gets pretty hot out there.
Yeah, this year it's been actually a little bit too cool. It's basically been only about a week's worth of days in the hundreds, so that's not that's pretty mild for here. So this is one that I was gonna sell to the neighbor, and he said something about he was worried about going into flowering too soon, but it just now started to flower.
That's his loss.
Yeah, oh, I know. This is the best looking one in the yard too. Like that's
That's
the
a
thing
big
with me.
loss for him.
I always give away the better shit that I have to. I don't know why it is, but like if I would have gave this one away, I would have never known that this was the better plant.
Huh.
So it's looking good.
Yeah, it is.
There's some lacewing. There's a lacewing egg right there. Let's see, where's my hand?
I
There
see it.
it is.
Yeah, I see it.
So there's tons of those on here. But I'm not really seeing any aphids or anything on this one. Like, you can see a little bit of thrip shine on there, but it's not bad. I think that's an aphid right there, but I'm not sure. I think he's moving too fast to be an aphid. Where is it? Where is he? I know. Oh, he's on my finger now. Where's my camera at? There he is. I don't think it's an aphid. I'm putting him back. Yeah, so that's the best looking plant to me. That's the goth girl.
Mm.
I'll try to go slow and keep the connection. Okay, this is another one of those ones that I had to clone because I burnt the roots off. So I don't know what is what from the ones I had to reclone because I just started recloning a bunch. But this one's nice and full on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Big bush.
Let's see what's a better angle here. I'm always getting my shadow in the way. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Sticky. Smells good.
How much more time you got till you harvest?
I'm thinking probably mid-October, late October.
About a month, month and a half.
I think last
month
year
and
I
a half.
started October 14th, and then like I harvested
Gotta
two
harvest
plant
it on Halloween, bro.
two plants from over there, and then I had to like go out of town and then come back and harvest the rest of them. But when I went out of town, another big storm came through, but they were all right. They survived. They turned out good. Okay, this one definitely does not get enough food, but this is the another cut from the one that I say is the number one out of the bunch.
Nice.
But something's going on with it where it's not getting enough food. Like it's down in a hole. That there's this big old trench that goes around this lemon tree, and it's down in the hole in the trench. Am I here?
Yeah,
Huh?
you're here. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not now. That was funny. Like literally right after you said that, he locked
I
up.
know. Hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, that's cool, man, to see all his little thing just turned red. Connection status. There
Hey,
he
there we
is.
go.
You're back.
Am I here yet?
You're back.
Yeah.
Okay, I had the kind of those barns. I think that little shed up there, I think blocks the signal.
I mean, that's still a good distance, man. So I had to get a fucking Wi-Fi repeater from go down one floor.
Jeez.
Oh, dang.
But tomatoes?
I think we have what doesn't work as well.
Mm,
So that's my tomato plant. I think I bought it for $5 at the farmer's market a couple months ago.
nice.
Like money well spent.
Now you can take the
It was
tomatoes
called the
back to
money
the farmer's
maker.
market and sell them.
I know, huh? No way, dude. These are too good. Like, there's some good ones on there right now, too.
You weren't joking about a pizza. You got all the ingredients back there. Even
Here's
the
one
barbecue
that's
chicken.
kind of split.
That's right.
I knew I was gonna water too much yesterday. But it looks like it's the only one that's split on there that I can see.
That's good.
Those
So you
cherry
got
tomatoes.
split tomatoes from overwatering, huh?
Yeah.
For anybody out there that might be listening that doesn't know.
Mmm.
Is that
This
your
is my
lemon?
orange tree
Orange? Nice.
that has not put flowers on yet. But it's the lower growth from the bottom's coming up because I took this main one and just bent it over. So now all the lower stuff's gonna even out a little bit. But I want that to have oranges. The lemon tree over there finally has lemons on it.
Is that a
And
cutting from
then
the last place you were at?
that one was actually given to me by my mother-in-law. I've had it since my last place. I think I've had it about 4 years.
Did you
And I've got it to
take cuttings?
flower, but then I kept it in the pot and didn't fertilize it or water it, and it just killed the flowers.
Mm,
So this is probably about the fourth or fifth time I've had it flower, but it's actually set the fruits and they're growing. I'll try to
didn't you
get
have
back over to it.
a giant lemon tree at your old place?
Yeah, so
Did you
that
take a
lemon tree
cutting
was the
from that?
best. No, I can still go over there and grab a cutting though.
Okay.
It's still there. It's just a block away. These two dark patches right here, those are two good strawberry plants that have just been producing humongous strawberries all year since the
Nice.
strawberry moon. Okay, let me try to get closer to these other ones over here. I'll walk slow.
Mhm.
Oh, I haven't looked at these in a while. They're ready. All right. So let's see. That's my raspberry bush. We've been eating raspberries every day. It kind of looks horrible right now. They're kind of coming out small right now. It's, but they are delicious. Mmm.
Did you just eat one?
Yep. Man, that's so much better than like any kind of candy. So this is another goth girl. Um, I don't know what this one is. I think it's another clone of the ones that I melted the roots off of. And it's not getting enough food too, because you can see I'm not really feeding the soil very much right now, because there's no grass to cut. It's all brown.
Yeah.
So I usually cut the grass and then I'll just dump the bag around the plants.
Mm.
And here is the one that's the aphid plant. So this one's just going to be left alone and everything's going to go back to the bugs in nature.
It's like your pest banker.
Yeah. So there's so many lacewings on this plant. And it's like if I go and do the IPM, then it just washes them down and it basically gives the meaner bad bugs an upper hand by doing the pest management. So we're just gonna let that one go back to the bugs. Look, there's a ladybug on the floor right now.
Mm. Yeah, I see
There's a
that.
ladybug right there.
Go get him, killer.
So I'm just gonna not wash those bugs off and just. This is one of the best looking plants here too. The soil smells the best. When I walk up to it, I can smell the soil.
Is that
But then
that's still
we
that
also
same?
have
You think it might be a stress response from the pests that it's making it so like look so, smell so good, or
I don't know. Like I know all these kale plants have bugs on them too.
Hmm.
Like they have this one bug, I forget what it's called, but it looks like a ladybug, but it's an imposter.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember either.
And then there's a whole bunch of aphids on those too.
Hmm.
Oh, here's the potato that's growing. That's good. That's where that went.
I found my
I knew I
potato.
seen potatoes growing and I couldn't remember where.
Would it be like a beetle of some kind, maybe?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. I'll look it
An
up and post it on Discord.
Asian lady beetle?
I know it's an
Um,
Asian something looks like it, but it's not. It's an imposter.
uh, uh, I'll, no, I forget what it's called.
Oh, we won't keep
I'm
you on the
so
spot.
lame too.
That's those logs right there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so that's the new tree that got cut down. So there's a pile of logs right there underneath this tree. And then under that tree, there's another giant pile of logs.
Yeah.
So I have plenty of mushroom growing space. I just need to get a spore to inoculate it.
You can go online and get what are they called? Inoculation pellets, or they're just like they're little they're like the little wood pins that you put in like IKEA furniture, assemble it yourself kind of deal. And
Yeah, I've seen those.
you get a drill and you just drill a bunch of holes in each log, and then you just hammer those in and then
Yeah,
stack the
that's
logs up.
exactly what I had in mind to do.
Yeah, do it, man.
Like a
It's gonna be
like a wood
dope as
dowel?
shit. Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for, a dowel. But they're
Yeah,
inoculated with
exactly.
mycelium, so you tap them into the logs and then it colonizes the whole log really quick.
Yeah, that would be ideal for what I got going on here because um I don't like having to throw big stuff away. I like it to go back into the ground. So if I actually have some mushrooms that are breaking it back down quicker. Okay, so this is my creation here. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Mhm.
That's a crazy looking plant.
So this is the one I've been saying I'm going to tie up by Friday, and it's been 4 Fridays.
I know
That's
that. I
funny.
know that feeling.
I wanted to say welcome to Vark Dog as well. I've got you spotlighted as well. So we can see both gardens because gonna run out of time if we don't. So,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine, Sky.
Oh,
It's
no
first come,
worries.
first serve. Sorry, Vark.
Oh, dude,
But
I
we want
don't
to see
care at
it
all,
too.
buddy. I just figured I'd pop in real quick and give you a little gander. Here's your goth girls. They're starting to stack up real nicely, bud.
Awesome.
I had to grab a step ladder to get to the top of this canopy.
Damn, that's
To
crazy.
see everything. That's all Spartan puke back in there. These are all goth in the middle. So this girl, that tall one, and that tall one. Basically, this whole middle is all goth girl.
Oh,
Nice.
she's kissing the ceiling on that one.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, man. I really should have made this thing taller. I thought I made it tall enough, but I they just kept growing and growing, and then this is all like vortex all in here. Starting to stack up real nice.
Ooh, you got quite the load going there.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have a bit more than I kind of know what to do with, and
You're
then I'm
you're gonna have
actually
to go to the
really
farmer's
happy
market.
with I'm really happy with these. This is that Sour Jones soda. It's stacking up real nice. I don't know how well you can see, but it's even starting to frost. It's got some pretty good sized cola on it already on the top there. And then there's another big ass top there.
Getting beefy.
Looks
Yeah,
good, man. Looks really good.
getting real beefy, but yeah, I don't want to take you away, man. I just wanted to pop in and say hello real quick.
Oh man, I appreciate it. That's looking awesome.
Yeah, I think I gotta make this taller, try to rework
Just cut it and
them.
add a little filler pipe in there. Cut each one of those.
What I was thinking is just make longer pieces here
Yeah.
for myself, and then that should raise the whole tent level up. Because these just slide into like that rebar that I like drove down into
Yeah,
here to
yeah.
keep everything like real sturdy over time.
That looks good,
But
man.
great mushroom talk today, man. I took some notes down.
Thank
It
you.
might be something I'll have to get into at some point in time if I ever run into some free time for once.
You got your hands full right now.
Yeah, dude, when I brought these outside, they were all a foot tall. I
That's
didn't
crazy.
I did not expect to end up with something quite like that at the end of my summertime.
Your first time too. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is my first outdoor grow, so it was definitely a learning experience. I'll say that much.
That's funny. I like having both outdoor grows on the screen. That's really cool. Sky, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
Oh, just this other little plant over here, if I can make it over there. And then I'm good. Thanks for letting me come on, guys.
I
Oh
appreciate
yeah.
you coming. We're always hanging out in the Discord, so
So
what
this
is that
one's
one?
pretty chunky.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I haven't
I,
tied that one up either yet. So this one's been,
What is it?
that's Kim's secret from that OC grower.
Oh, nice.
that's the nice bush you got there, man.
I still have powdery mildew on my chard. Okay, I'm done sharing, guys. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing, man. We appreciate you showing off your big old garden.
Compost pile.
Nice. I
All
need to do
right.
that.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
anybody? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I started a compost pile last year. It's worked out pretty well. I basically just kind of take my food scraps and mix of leaves and grass cuttings and throw it in there all summer, and then kind of let it marinate all winter long. And then when you dive back in the spring, you get some nice, rich, good soil at the bottom of that pile. And I've
Yeah,
just been mixing it into my garden, and it's done me pretty well for stuff I would have naturally just thrown away anyway.
yeah. You can use that shit. I got to do that starting this spring. I'll be starting my own. We're down to our last 5 minutes though. Does anybody have any last thoughts on mushrooms or microdosing or anything like that? Questions or anything they want to share? I'll say
Um,
that, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say no real questions, man. You did a great job of kind of covering it from the ground up there. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, I try to give a pretty high level, view of what it is and what you can do. And that's definitely not the only way to grow mushrooms. So I encourage everybody to go do their own research and find a rabbit hole and go down it, and figure something out that works for you. Because like I said, you can go buy, bins, there's automated shit. Like you can buy a whole like grow tent thing, um, definitely a lot of places to get spores as well. So yeah, but we have a whole section in the Discord, which is yeah, just you can reach out to me or it's on my Instagram if you want to join the Discord and we can get more in depth on there. And we can also do, another episode at some point. So I will be keeping updated on my tubs and yeah, hopefully I have some cool mushrooms to share and uh I'm hoping within the next month. So, but that being said, we are down to the last few minutes. Vark Dog, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
I haven't been posting much. You can find me as Jace likes to say, lurking around Seed Person One's Discord. That tends to be
Awesome.
my favorite hangout of late. So if you want to find me, hit me up there.
Awesome. Yeah, we're up to like almost 100 people in there now, so there's plenty of conversations going on and we're very open to if you want to, join and have a special like niche thing that you want to talk about or share, like we can definitely accommodate that. Um, we can jump over to Jace if you want to tell people where they can find you if they have questions for what you're doing over in your setup and anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, OKJs20, and like Bark Dog said, always lurking around and see person's Discord, creeping on there big time, especially on Art Man. I love to give him a hard time.
Shout out to Art, man. He gave me some encouragement to I'm doing my exercises again. I got to keep that going. And we were talking and he encouraged me to get that going again. So I'm doing it, man, every day. Last but not least, we can go over to Sky Overhead if you want to tell people where they can find you and your music and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yes, so best place to go is skyoverhead.com, and you can find the link to the music, custom soaps that we make. We do party favors, weddings, bachelor parties, weed parties. We do custom orders for that stuff. You can get any of the seeds that I've been working with here on there. Just shoot me an email. Thank you for letting me go on here and share everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And I forgot to ask, how was your gig last night?
It went well.
Good.
It went well. It was good. It was a good first show.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. All right. Last thing is if you're trying to get in touch with me, you can go to Seed Person on Instagram. If you don't have that, you can get in touch with me at synchronicityseeds@gmail.com. Or like I said, the Discord, I'm in there every day. We do live video, live chat, stuff like that. For the days that we don't do this show. But we are going to be doing this show again next Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Please come and join us again and get an update. If you're listening and lurking and you're scared to come on or join the chat or anything like that, please don't be. We are very welcoming and we want to have you join our community and get the information that you need to get medicine for you and your family. So please don't hesitate to say hi in the chat or hit me up personally if you want in the DMs or whatever. yeah, we love the new growers and we do this show for y'all. So cheers everybody. I will see y'all in the chat at Cheap Home Grow tonight at 7 Eastern. And yeah, grow love everybody. And talk to you next week.
Later.